What is up, guys? We are in Hawaii. This is actually my buddy's private property. Long story short, this place was basically I guess a business that went under, and then it was kind of just abandoned for quite a few years. No one lived here or did any maintenance on it, so the jungle, doing what the jungle does, completely took over. So he's slowly doing some renovations on it. It's going to turn into a resort, I suppose. And so my time here, or at least the times that I can come back to hunt, will be very limited, because once he starts getting these buildings here built up and suited for living, then he'll have people, rent it out, or however it is he's going to do it. But I got in kind of a little later than I wanted. I mean, I could technically still hunt a little bit, but my bow's not even dialed in. So, but I'm just doing a little bit of scouting right now. So I just kind of scoping out the property and seeing what's changed. I mean, it's a lot of rain here, so it's completely just overgrown. I just do a little bit of scouting. I'll shoot my bow just a little bit. I'm not even going to show that, but we will start hunting tomorrow. Super excited. So the first morning was pretty uneventful, but I did see a ton of sign. This pile of scat here was really fresh, probably less than 12 hours old. Here's a highly trafficked area that the pigs like to use to move back and forth from their beds.
Okay, so now I'm set up right in front of the house, where they come through almost every day to feed on the fruits and the macadamia nuts. Usually by 4:30 is when they show up, and I've been here since 3:30 or so. So I'm kind of wide out in the open, but I feel like these guys, no one's been chasing them for the last few months, and the people that work here on this property told me that they've been out and about. The pigs have been out and about with people working around the property, and it doesn't seem to bother them, so hopefully that will remain true for me as well. So as they feed through this area, probably about 30 yards away, I'm kind of like tucked up inside of this little area. If I move slow enough, I should be able to get a shot off. So we'll see. And then if they move from left to right, then I can easily stand up and just make sure I don't step on any of this dry grass, and just follow them around the corner and see if I can get a shot off at that point. But I'm hoping to get one while I'm seated right here and not have to move around. So it'd be nice to get one pig on the board tonight.
I hear some more rustling and definitely knew that there were some pigs moving around back here, so I decided to get up to look over the brush and hopefully catch some movement. After some time of not being able to see anything, I can still hear them moving further and further away from me, so I make the call and I go after them. As I start to make my way down this path, I stop every few steps and take a more careful look and listen for sounds that might give me a clue of where they're actually at. I eventually stop at this fallen tree and turn back around. And then this happens. I go after him down this area we call A-Frame Village. I also sometimes call it the mini jungle. This area here is where they sometimes bed down, and I decided that it was just better to turn back around.
Damn, I'll have to go back and watch that again, but that was awesome. Man, what crap timing. When I decided to turn back around, I was actually coming back here to sit down, and he happened to be coming down that little walkway, that little path right there, and we basically almost ran into each other. He was all black, but he had a little bit of white on one of his paws, I think. That was pretty cool. So now I'm sitting and wait for about another 40 minutes or so and see if another little sounder of pigs will come out. I keep hearing some movement back there, but I don't know if it's pigs or it's just, sounds of the freaking jungle. But it was cool to be able to see a pig. I mean, that thing was probably 15 yards from me.
The second morning started a little later than I wanted, but I'll explain why after this. These pigs moved through this area in front of the house pretty quickly. They headed back towards the mini jungle and I quietly followed them. As you can see here, I definitely wasn't ready for this morning hunt since I'm still in flip-flops, shorts, and a t-shirt. The mosquitoes appreciated that for sure. I end up back near that same bedding area that I showed you guys yesterday. I stayed for a little bit to see if I can catch any more movement and sound, and I don't. I decide to back out and head back to the house.
All right, officially, good morning. I ended up deciding to sleep in a little bit. I was just absolutely exhausted. The last few weeks at work have been just freaking absolutely insane with how busy things got. And just long 12-plus hour days and then not sleeping a ton. Because then once I got home, I was also having to get on the phone as well as do some work on the laptop, and just for the last 3 weeks I just have not been sleeping much at all. So it was actually really nice to be able to sleep in. I've got until next Monday night, and today is Friday morning, so I've got a few days to get this done, and ideally I'll be able to get, I'd be happy with 2 pigs. I can take one for myself and then leave one for my buddy. As I woke up this morning, walked out to the kitchen, looked out the window, saw a really, really big, nice, good size sow and then 2 smaller boars. Went after them, as you guys saw on the bow cam, and then came back in, had some coffee. I'm gonna hunt for, 2.5, 3 hours till about 11ish, and then I need to run out in town and grab some more supplies. All right, so I'm doing some more scouting here, and this property is still under a lot of renovation. And you see here, this is one of the little, I don't know what you call it, bungalows or whatever. It's still under construction. You can see the unfinished product, but this right here actually gives me a really good point of view, although it's still crazy thick in there. So I'm kind of wondering if I can find the machete, go around and just chop down some shooting lanes so that if I hear them wrestling around back here, I can get onto this balcony and then make some shots. They would end up on the neighbor's property, which is totally fine. It's a shared easement right on the other side. And then the neighbors have a fence line. So if that thing runs anywhere, hopefully it can't go too far. All right, so we're going with a little bit of a different setup tonight. My urban hide, as you will. This used to be showers here at this place. And, it hasn't been used in years. So I had to go through here and knock all the cobwebs out of here and cut down a couple shooting lanes. But I'm basically going to set up inside here, right across the way, outside there, are where the trees are with the macadamia nuts. And there's also coconut trees here, right out. And then I think there's orange tree or something like that, some kind of citrus fruit. And then right across the way is the passion fruit tree. So they will on occasion come through here, and it's all rooted throughout this area too. We'll see if I can set up here. And I got 3 different shooting lanes kind of right behind me. I've got this area right here that I can kind of shoot through these little tiny holes, maybe in, if I have to thread the needle. And then over here, I've got this opening, same thing right here. And then I've got this little spot. Technically I should have 4, so this one's a little bit more on the tight side, but I could basically only shoot, let me see here, if I can position myself, from here to that angle. So on this side is a little more tough. I could probably shoot over this stump right there. And then one last section, which is this area right here. So they're gonna be coming from
either that side over there, or they come from the jungle, the village back there with all the A-frames and stuff.
Last night they came out close to 6. It's 5:45, 6 o'clock, I think. It's 4:30 now. Got about another hour or so, and I think that's when they'll start coming out as the sun starts to set. Fingers crossed this works out. Alright, well, it is just a little after 6, still no sign of them. So I have a feeling that they're gonna come out when it's really dark, and I won't be able to get a shot off. We'll see. I've got about another 30 minutes until last light, but usually I can't even hunt towards the end of last light because it's so freaking dark. Getting destroyed by mosquitoes right now too. So if I get bored, I might end up sneaking out that way, and then get onto that balcony and see if there's some pigs back there. I'm gonna make a move and see if I can hear anything over there. I'll sit for maybe like 10 minutes and I'll come back. I mean, I get a lot more light in this area too.
As soon as I get onto the balcony, I get into some pigs.
Tiny pig right here, but I ain't away from the big one. I can hear them rustling through this area.
I get up and walk over to my right while I'm hearing more of these pigs move through the guinea grass. You can't see from the camera, but I notice some smaller pigs stopping at this tree to scratch themselves on it. I see a decent sized pig following them, so I come back to full draw and wait for it to also stop at that tree.
Nice. Oh, I got a really nice one. It's not giant, but it's a good size. I think I might hit it maybe just a touch high because it was much closer than 20. I put my 20-yard pin on him. He's probably closer to like, 15 or something like that. But they all scrambled, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my arrow and see if. I mean, I'm hoping that it was a full pass through. I can't tell from here, but I'm gonna go back and I can see the pigs walking off on the road off in the distance.
So bummed. So yeah, after I pulled the arrow out, smelled the fletching and everything, it smelled fine. So it was a good shot. Found some pretty decent blood beyond that. I kept tracking it, but eventually it started to dry up, so it ended up going through all that thick stuff that I shot it in, went across that road on the other side of it, which was the neighbor's, it's like an easement, and then went past that and into more of the thick stuff. Eventually the blood started getting smaller. Like it was like good blood at first, and then it started becoming like less and less, and then I was just like finding little drops. It went through these 2 trees and I actually smeared some blood on it, but there wasn't any blood on the floor. So I went through, they weren't big trees, they were, I don't know, like probably the size of like, a broom handle or whatever. So it busted through that stuff and I walked around it, and then, went to the other side of those trees, didn't see any more blood on the ground, and then that was it. I grid searched the area for about 20-ish minutes. I was like, I'm just gonna like walk in the direction I think it went, and then I hit a thick wall of this guinea grass that's out here, and that's what the pigs use as their little subway tunnel system. But it was also like, more of the little broomstick handle thickness trees, and then like vines and all kinds of thick stuff. I did find a small little tunnel opening, but I didn't see any blood. So if it ran through that tunnel, there's no way that it didn't like leave a little bit of blood in there. So I don't think it went through that one. It had to bust through somewhere, but I walked up and down that wall a little bit. It was probably like a span of, I don't know, 20 yards, and then it just got like really gnarly back there. I thought about trying to go around, see if I can go around or whatever, and it was just so dark and thick in there because it was also a lot of overhead trees, canopy stuff that I was like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna be able to, you know, do this. So anyway, decided to bail on the search. I'm so bummed. I hate not being able to recover stuff. I might come back to that spot again tomorrow just to see if I can find something. I would feel better if I just like at least found it. I mean, it doesn't matter if these things are considered to be invasive and that they cause issues with the property and digging stuff up and rooting all over the place, but okay, it bums me out not being able to recover stuff. I'm upset at myself. I guess I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, good morning, guys. Woke up to a little bit of rain, which is cool. Generally, rain will make the piggies happy, whether they're out kind of basking in it or, you know, it provides them a little bit of water and stuff like that, which is cool. The other benefit is that it makes the ground easier to walk on. It's more quiet. So when I'm stalking through some of those drier areas, it'll help out quite a bit. I'm going to get some breakfast in, enjoy my coffee, and then head out and set up in the same area that I set up yesterday, which is by the showers, and then hope that the piggies come through and feed on the mac nuts and stuff like that, and hopefully they'll get a shot. Today's Saturday. I've got all day today, Sunday, and then the morning of Monday to finish this up. I'd like to be able to at least butcher one pig no later than Monday afternoon. So that way I can get it frozen when I fly back. I don't have to worry about packing a bunch of extra ice bags and stuff like that. No ice packs. So we'll see. I'm hoping I get one at least today. So that way I can butcher it up nice, get it vacuum sealed, and then throw them in the industrial freezer that we have here. And then I'll get my second one soon after that. That way I can do the same thing for my buddy Jason, who's let me stay here and hunt here. And then leave that for him. It'd be nice to have him come back with his wife and then get a freezer full of pig meat. So I'm feeling hopeful this morning after last night. I was bummed about it, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to turn this around here. I'll see you out there.
All right, so I'm back at the shower area. And the area right there is what I'm waiting for them to come out on, so they're not going to necessarily feed right here. I mean, it depends on them, but what I'm waiting for is for them to show up on the road that's 25 to 30 yards. So, that's 8. Still no sign. I think I'm going to grab my things and then walk back over to that balcony. And then I'll do a little bit of still hunting through there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I'm gonna wait here until the rain stops. You're gonna see it's coming down a little bit right there. Rain usually only lasts for about 5-10 minutes, if that sometimes here, and so once the rain stops then I'll move, but maybe this will bring the pigs out. And the sun's starting to poke out a little bit right there after the rain, but so we'll see. And this little area is a little corridor as well. They come through all this stuff. And then that right there is a mango tree. That thing is dropping mangoes every 10-15 minutes, it seems like. So they're coming through and eating that stuff. But yeah, a little bit later on in the afternoon, I'm probably gonna come back with a machete and start cutting some shooting lanes through here because it's kind of open just right past that. And then I'll probably cut another shooting lane right there, and then I might chop through a little bit of this stuff right here as well. I mean, the tops of this kind of gets in the way of my shots if they happen to be out there. But yeah, this stuff here I'll leave alone. The guinea grass, that stuff's horrible. So it looks like the rain's easing up a little bit. I think I'm gonna start still hunting through that village area because it's nice and wet in there now. So it should keep things a little more quiet. I'm working my way towards the north side of the property. I did a little still hunting and didn't see anything at all. I wanted to be a little more productive, so I make my way back to the balcony area. Now I'm kind of regretting I didn't do a time-lapse video of this, but I chopped shooting lane all through there. I opened this up so that way if I need to get to that side, it's easier to go through there. I also chopped down this area. And then I just leveled all that stuff off because all that stuff was high enough to block all these shots. So I leveled all that stuff out. And then there were a couple odds and ends that were back there that I chopped down a little bit too. So it didn't take a whole lot of energy at all, but that was cool. So now I should be able to have much better sight of the pigs and get some good shots.
Okay, so we are back at the showers. Pigs didn't come through here this morning, so I'm hoping that tonight they will. I may just bounce back and forth between this spot and the balcony. The problem with this is all this commotion next door. I mean, it could be a good thing or a bad thing, but the good thing is that it might keep the pigs, you know, on our side. The bad thing is that with all the music going on, I can't hear brush and stuff like that as well as I normally would be able to. Alright, here we go. Last 38 minutes of hunting light. Man, if this doesn't happen tonight, I'm gonna be so bummed. Oh, that right there. I just need something to step out. All right there.
Damn. Another day of no piggies. I actually did come really close to shooting one. I hesitated because I was hoping for it to come a little closer. I mean, it was probably only from where I was at, like 25 yards off that balcony. But he was a little further back, and it just wasn't like an optimal shot because there was a like a little rock that was blocking his vitals, and he happened to be feeding right behind it. I should have just drawn back and waited for him to like kind of step out, but I was hoping that they were going to kind of feed in and get in a little closer like they were yesterday. They kind of fed through there and then moved on, and that was it. And then by that point, it was already like 27 or something like that. So I had about another, 10 minutes of legal shooting light, 11 minutes. But it was so dark in that canopy down there that I just couldn't see anything. So I guess that will wrap it up for the evening, and I will see you guys in the morning.
Yeah, I see the first pig starting to come out here. I don't think, it looks like they're just moving. I don't know if they're gonna stick around. I'm gonna move forward a little bit.
Even though you can see really green grass here, underneath all of it is dry leaves and lava rock, and that prevents me from moving any faster. The pigs at this point are about 25 yards on the other side of this tree, and that cover allows me to get away with some more movement, but if I make too much noise, that's when they get spooked. So I take my time as they slowly feed through this area, and I'm trying to get around this tree for a shot. The sow that I really want to shoot is around 35 yards, and all of the pigs are feeding away from me. She was broadside at one point, but the front half of her body was covered by the brush, and then she turned and moved further away from me. I stay there and wait for them to disappear around the bush because I know exactly where they're going. It's one of their bedding areas just on the other side. I quietly get to that bedding area. You can still see some of the smaller pigs feeding into it, but the bigger sow was already deeper into the thick stuff. I watch a little longer, hoping the sow feeds back out, but I never saw her again. I get out of there and do a little more still hunting through the mini jungle. I don't see anything after a while, so I wrap up the morning hunt. Okay, so spending the afternoon while the pigs are bedded down away from here. And I'm gonna do a different setup tomorrow morning. This morning I was set up across the way by the shower area where all the mac nuts are, hoping that they would come out and feed, and they just haven't been doing that the last few days since I've been here. So, I mean, they are traveling through here to get from one bedding area to another or whatever they're doing, but they're not hanging out over there. So this morning, there was like 3 or 4 smaller pigs, and then the bigger sow came out this way, and then instead of going out into the Mac field, they made a right and they just kept going. And so there's an opening right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'll have an opening right here if they do come out the same way, or right here. And if they keep going, I have another shot right there. Now, if they do end up going out into the field, then I might be able to slowly step out where the Mac nuts are, like step out and then shoot across the way from there. So the problem is, like, this is all lava rock down here, so staying quiet on top of this stuff is just almost dang near impossible. So I might have to kind of figure some stuff out here. I might need to maybe chop down some more shooting lanes or something like that. That will allow me to, you know, just step out a little bit, maybe even walk over here. Actually, this is not bad right here. Okay. I mean, this is a very narrow shooting lane, but I might do some more chopping right here. Let's see right here. Shoot out through there. So this is going to take me right out to kind of the beginning of where the Mac nut, you know, area is. The pigs this morning went down over here, and so they're all bedded up in that area over there, which is not uncommon because I've seen them over there last year. So they're definitely creatures of habit, and you know, until you bust them out of there, they might, you know, vacate it for a little bit, but then they'll come back eventually. So all right, I'll do a little bit more work, and then I'll probably see you guys in the evening. I don't think I'll hunt here. I'll probably go back to the very back on that side where the bridge, or I'm sorry, the balcony is, and then maybe back to the shower. So I don't know, we'll see. I can't set up here tonight just because I wanted the ability to be able to bounce back and forth, and coming in and out of here is just way too loud, where it worked perfectly over in that side. So I think that's going to be the strategy for tonight, is kind of similar to yesterday, basically just to go back and forth, and then tomorrow morning I'll be set up right here. So what we're hoping for is those pigs that are bedded down, I'm hoping that they stay there pretty much all day. So they're either going to come around this side over here and come out towards the Mac nut area, or another batch of them come from that direction and come out into here. So we'll see. And then of course back over at the balcony, we'll see if this works tonight. I feel like I'm slowly starting to like dial in what the tactic is going to be, but of course it's now coming towards the very end of my trip, where I've got, you know, basically a day and a half left. So wish me luck, guys. Let's make it happen tonight. A little over an hour later, I see this pig feeding at about 37 yards through this opening. He's facing me almost the whole time, and I just have to wait until he turns broadside. And I didn't see any more movement, so I'm gonna let him be. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna go over to the balcony. I hung out here until last light and saw absolutely nothing. Oh, there he is. Not very far at all. I shot him probably like 10 yards over there. All right, let's get this guy out of here. So something really cool I wanted to point out here is that I want you guys to check out his hind legs. If you remember from earlier in the hunt, I almost run into a pig with white feet. I'm pretty sure this is the same pig. I also believe this is the same pig that you see in this video that my buddy Jason sent me about 4 months ago. Anyway, I thought that was a fun thing to share. I finish skinning and breaking the pig down, and I throw all of the meat into the fridge to cool down overnight. Well, that took way longer than it should have. I'm just not that good at skinning and breaking stuff down. Even though I enjoy doing it, it just takes forever. I'm gonna have dinner, enjoy my wine. I don't know where Jason keeps the wine glasses. I didn't see any here, so I'm gonna drink it out of a mason jar. So I'm gonna have some steak, have a little bit of wine, shower, because I'm disgusting, and then we will see you in the morning. With how much lava rock is in this area, I sneak in here with tennis shoes on to be a little more quiet. I get into position, knock an arrow, and clip on my release. Almost an hour later, the pigs appear. You can't see them from this angle, but I catch them slowly moving through the guinea grass towards my position. The sow that I've been after finally makes an appearance and walks behind this A-frame. I come back to full draw and wait. Nice clean blood, no funk. I mean, she ran up this way, made a right, and then cut right into the jungle. All right, cool. So I found the arrow. I didn't realize it came out of him because I knew it stuck him and it stayed in there. So shot him right there. I ran through here. You can see some blood splatter. And then there's more blood right there. Then he ended up right there. You see a little flattened spot right there. You can see more blood down there as well. But yeah, I mean, that's 11, 12 yards. So this hit his femur. That's why it bent and went all the way down to about right there. So then this was what was sticking out of him. But it's kind of crazy that I came all the way back out. So I went back to the house, grabbed all my stuff, changed to my normal boots. So now let's go find my pig. Yeah, a little bit of blood right there and right there. And everything is damp right now too, so it all kind of looks glossy everywhere. There's more blood there. See a little bubble, so that should be lung blood. So she went down that tree right there. You can see a little tiny spot of blood, and then more over there. So she went down this. You can kind of see this thick, nasty trail. So I ended up going back to the house to grab the machete. I'm gonna start hacking away here. I bet you. Oh yeah, I see the blood now. You freaking tricky girl. So she went into that tunnel right there and then shot off the backside. Okay, so let me go around this way then. Yeah, more blood right there. There she is. Awesome. Oh yeah, good lung blood. Okay, so she went through all this stuff. Come on now. Get away from me. I see another trail up ahead. I'm kind of wondering if I can access it to the other side, and then it'll be easier to drag her. Let me just tag this spot on X and then maybe go around. Yeah, so maybe she came through here, hit that, came around this way. There's a bunch of blood right here, and then there's more right there. Yeah. Oh, I see more blood over there. Okay, so she went this way and ended up over there. see me a little bit better. The entrance, relatively small, but the backside is nice and big there. So, really happy with the performance of that. Here we go, finished product. It's gonna be some good eating. We're back at the house, and I did not have my coffee this morning, so I need that. It's, I don't know what time it is. It's freaking like 10:30 or something like that. So it's, man, thank you, Lord. I'm so blessed. I had no idea if that was even gonna be possible because I was so damn close. Luckily, both of these pigs that I recovered didn't go very far at all. The sow this morning, she went, I'm pretty sure, less than 100 yards. That was cool being able to, track her blood and stuff like that all the way through, and then getting where she was at, and then being able to get her out was really easy too. And then, man, the guy last night I shot, like that freaking thing went 10 yards. So I don't exactly know what it was that made him go so short. He didn't go very far at all. That was probably literally like the shortest recovery I've ever had from where I shot it. The next closest thing to that would be the first deer I ever shot. That thing ran about 20 and collapsed. So now the next thing I need to do is the boar that I shot last night, I need to cut off all the blood clotting stuff out of there, all the bloodshot stuff, get the hair and nasty debris out of it. And then I'm going to vacuum seal and then throw it in the freezer immediately and then get that stuff frozen ASAP. I'll probably go do a little bit of grocery shopping too, because we're gonna do a little bit of catch, clean, cook tonight with some Hawaiian backstrap. So I'm really excited. I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm just a simple guy. This is just a small part of the butchering and packaging process. I don't want to bore you guys this time, but if you do want to see a more detailed video of how I break these pigs down in the future, let me know in the comments. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's nice. That's it, nothing fancy. We're just gonna eat it with some salad, and that's pretty much it. This turned out freaking awesome. I cooked it so it's just ever so slightly, still pink in the middle, but cooked all the way through. Really juicy. It's like market pork, but a little more intense. Not in a bad way. Not gamey at all. Really flavorful. Sweet, kind of nutty. Great meat. My favorite wild pig ever is from this property. I still gotta finish up dinner. I need to pack, get everything cleaned up, and then that way tomorrow morning, I'll be ready to just go. That's it, guys. Have a good night. See you in the morning. All frozen solid, ready to go. And I'll be on my way to the airport now. Well, that video ended a little abruptly, and that was somewhat by design, because even though that trip to Hawaii came to an end, the Hawaiian adventure is going to continue, because in 6 days I will be on the island of Lanai chasing axis deer. I was lucky enough to draw the second archery tag for a public land axis deer. I'm really stoked about that. That's actually a bucket list hunt of mine, and it was so crazy that I got to draw it. I'm here at the range all to myself, which is fantastic. and I'm getting my sight tape on there. It's a new bow. It's an RX-9 Ultra, and I built new arrows for it and stuff. I'll go over a whole new different video on the arrow build and the bow itself later on. I'll also do a separate video talking about the logistics required in order to hunt on the island of Lanai, which is really interesting. I learned a lot, by the way, planning for this trip. And then of course the Lanai hunting video itself, which will also come out sometime in a few weeks. I got a broadhead tune and get my sight tape on there. I did spend a little bit of time bear shaft tuning. I ended up busting an arrow doing it. So I think I'm pretty close to being squared away, and hopefully the broadhead tune shouldn't take too long. And I've got my 5-pin sight on there. That's the driver sight from Excel, which I like. This is my second driver sight so far. And I have one on my other bow, my backup bow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun hunting on this trip. I always do, regardless if I shoot anything or not. But I had a lot of fun editing it, and I hope you guys appreciated the work I put in. I hope you guys will also stick around for the future videos coming up on this channel, especially ones related to this Lanai trip coming up in a few weeks. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.